Okay, here we are at the beginning of turn 6 for the Confederates. This is their movement phase. So they continue to push through the woods on the base of Big Round Top. There's not a lot there stopping them. There's a partial regiment of the 4th Maine and some 2nd U.S. sharpshooters, and they're about ready to get shoved out of there. We'll see how the Union can shake out this turn. I think it's going to take them, another couple, 3 turns, so 15 to 30 minutes to shake out their brigade. Did a lot more organizing over here for the 3rd Arkansas fell back because they have a number of ineffective units, and they have 2 ineffective units, I think. So for each guy they tried to rally, it cost them 4. So they're only able to rally part of them. That's probably the only thing that could maybe save the Union, because the 5th Texas and the 1st Texas are now slamming into the 99th and the 124th New York. If the 99th doesn't do some brilliant fighting and shooting, and I'm not real confident on the 86th and the 124th, they're pretty beat up and mauled. So pretty sure that's not going to go well, which is only going to leave 1 regiment here and 1 brigade up here. And honestly, the Confederates aren't looking too bad. I guess when it's all said and done, we'll have to see how it shakes out. The Georgians are going to be coming pretty soon over here. I think the North gets some more infantry coming in there in the little valley, but they don't get anything until late, like maybe 2/3 into the game. So another third of the game, Weed will come out there on B or C. But I don't know. I'm starting to wonder if the North is going to get pounded really bad. My version of the Hood's assault is going pretty good for the rebels, I think. That being said, I wasn't sure if anybody knows what to do with the Hood counter. There's a Hood staff counter, and it says that if it comes in, the Union gets 6 victory points, so it sounds like it's optional. It can do some extra commanding, but I'm thinking you probably don't want it if it's optional, because that's not good, because that's going to cost victory points. But it didn't seem very clear to me in the rules. So if anybody knows how to play that rule, let me know. For now, I think I'm going to treat it as optional and not use the General Hood staff counter because it gives away victory points. So we'll see how that shakes out. So I'm going to go ahead and do the turn 6 Confederate offensive fire after the Union gets to do defensive fire, and then we'll see how things look. So back in a bit. Okay, so this is the end of the defensive and offensive fire phase. Pretty abysmal for the most part, but as we talked about here, the 99th Pennsylvania is not doing its job and is starting to run. The Confederates didn't get a lot of kills, but they got a lot of disrupted. They did knock out the 15 men on the blank spot right there in the middle. So that's not looking good. This is a Union stack right here that had double time there. So, they still have 1 guy, but 1 stack there. But it's looking pretty rough. We're going to do, the only melee we got is right here with the 5th Texas slamming in. I don't even know what's under that anymore. It's a mix of the 86th, maybe the 124th. I don't even know. I think the 124th, the 86th, and maybe 1 other unit. But yeah, it's getting ugly. I don't know. I mean, I guess this isn't a very fast-moving map, right? I mean, this took me 6 turns to get this far. Right? So that's 6 turns, and that's with fighting. So figure a little bit more fighting. 12 turns puts me kind of at the base of Little Round Top, maybe starting to get up into the rocky part of the slope. And then, yeah. So, I don't know. I'm kind of curious to see how this is going to go. I think I'm going to have to push these dudes out of here and then get into column and start moving quicker, because this is way too slow in line. So anyway, I'll do the melee and then come back, and then it'll be the Union's turn to move and see what happens. Well, that's about all you got to know about how that melee went. Everyone over there is running. The Confederates won every one. I also realized I forgot to mark some of the casualties. It was like everyone was just dying off. So what I'm going to have to do is eventually do an audit of each regiment and see where they're at. But that is the end of the Confederate half of turn 6. So we are going to jump over to the Union part of turn 6 and see if there's anything they can do, because this is getting ugly. They don't get any reinforcements until turn 9, and it's going to be one regiment coming in where B is, roughly, I think. Actually, it's coming in where A is, and I think they're going to have to come in at where B is, because there ain't going to be any A to come in on. So yeah, so that's how it's looking. It's I didn't, honestly, when I started, I thought, man, the Confederates are going to get so beat up just trying to get across there. But once these Union guys start running, they run. I mean, they're just not very strong. They got 4 strength on the side, maybe 5 sometimes. As soon as they lose 2, they get flipped over to ineffective. You got Confederates with 6s and 7s and 5s, and even then they got to get down to 3 or 2. So it makes a big difference. But yeah, so that's the middle of turn 6. So when we come back, it'll be the Union movement phase will be done. Okay, so here's the movement for the Union at the end of turn 6. So we're basically, about 50 minutes into this battle, 48 minutes into this battle, coming up on an hour here. These guys continue to pull back. These guys have some in column, but they switched to a line, and they were going to come down and join these fellers over here, but they started moving down because the Union is trying a desperate counterattack in the middle to try to blunt the attack of the 1st Texas and the 5th Texas and maybe buy some time. You can see all these stacks that basically ran back there. None of them could disorder, really, because they're all ineffective pretty much. And that crew continues to run to get out of the way instead of becoming easy victory points. So the Union basically, we have this big desperate counterattack here by the 99th Pennsylvania and the 40th New York. The 40th New York doesn't have great morale. It's only a C for a morale rating, but it does have some juicy numbers, a lot of 6s, and I want to say this is a 6. Yeah, that's a 6. So they all have 6s, so they can give as good as they get as far as strength points. So we're going to see if the Confederates get some good rolls here on this end and decimate the 99th and the little bit of the 40th New York that's hooking into them. That will really hurt the Union. So they really need to get lucky this turn and not have problems. Otherwise, if they can smash this attack and at least spend, 2 turns, so 16 minutes of tying them up and then beat them up enough where they have to regroup, maybe they can start an orderly withdrawal back to here a little ways. I did read, by the way, and if you have reinforcements coming in, they have to come in where they're supposed to, and if there's enemies on those hexes, then they come in as close as they can. So that's going to be a mess when the I think it's that New Jersey regiment comes in over there. So that's going to be a nightmare for them. That's not going to be good. They're going to be all... So the Confederates, basically these guys here are going to start wheeling. So they're going to wheel this way, and these guys will get ready because you can't see it, but they'd see the New Jersey regiment starting to form. They'd hear them over here in the woods and, stuff like that. So they're going to have to get ready to meet that attack. And, go from there. Then we'll have a couple of Georgia brigades that come up here eventually. And we have, not brigades, but 2 Georgia regiments will come up through here late. And we got the Georgia Brigade coming up in here, which they might end up, in my little history, they might end up being the hook that comes around to nail the little round top off the big round top. So, long ways to go. It's looking a little grim for the North, in my opinion. I don't know if this is a good move with the 83rd Pennsylvania coming off a little round top to try to help. They're basically going to be there so that if these guys collapse, they can at least keep the Southerners honest. But I don't know, they're a bunch of 4s and 1 5, so not looking great. But okay, we'll see how it goes. I'm having a great time. I hope you are too. If you had any thoughts or comments, please share them in the bottom. And there is an affiliate link I put in all of my ads. So if you want to purchase anything on Amazon, you can help the channel by doing that. Doesn't cost you anything extra. Other than that, I'll see you after doing the Confederate defensive fire, followed by the offensive fire for the North. Everybody, welcome back. This is the end of turn 6. So this was the Confederate defensive fire phase and the Union offensive fire phase. Honestly, pretty abysmal. The Confederates did a little bit of damage over here in the 40th New York. They caused some guys to start to run. The big factor was Colonel Egan got killed. So next turn coming in will be Lieutenant Colonel Warner. That was the 40th up here. The Union had a bunch of shots where they were like on the 17 to 20 column, the 21 to 24 column, and they rolled like 65 and 64. I mean, they just wasted it. Not a lot of shooting still over here. Here's kind of an overview. So we're just trying to get some troops into position. I don't know how long these Union guys can hold out. We'll see. I'm not very confident they will, but we will get ready here. I'm going to flip her over to the 7, turn 7 for the Confederates. Oh, total casualties were pretty abysmal. I think the Union had 3 that turn, and the Confederates had 1, maybe 2. I think I forgot to mark another one down. So what I'm finding is in my zeal to want to play, I'm not recording the casualties when they happened. So that's fine. I'm just trying to have fun and play a game anyway. I'm not trying to report necessarily anything. I just thought it'd be fun, but I keep forgetting to do it. So what I'll probably have to do is maybe when there's a lull, I'll probably pretend like it's a report of what casualties have happened so far, and I'll kind of go through each regiment and see where they're actually at for the actual total. But what is this, 6 and it's 8 minutes? So this is about 48 minutes of the battle. The Confederates, like I said, it's really getting interesting where these guys are just going to have to start moving and pushing. We're still going to have some fighting over here in what was called the Valley of Death, I think. I'm not sure how much actual fighting went on there. I think a lot of it was down here, but ours ended up over here. So yeah, we'll see what happens, and we'll go from there. So thanks for watching. I'm going to get started on turn 7.